What is going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and I want to talk about a decision the Jets are making on offense that I just truly do not understand. I know we've spent a lot of time in the last 24 hours or so talking about Zach Wilson, and this is not me justifying or giving any credit to Zach Wilson for his performance, or I guess lack thereof. This is no justification of his struggles, right? This is just an extra additional issue that the New York Jets are dealing with, and they're really hurting themselves. Like, I don't understand why the Jets specifically will not utilize these two players who could be keys on the offense that they just will not use. We'll start with Mecole Hardman. Through 3 weeks, he has 16 snaps. 16. He played 0, 14, and 2. And those 14 snaps came in garbage time against the Dallas Cowboys. 2 snaps is 3% of the plays, by the way. So he played 0 offensive snaps in week 1, 0%, and 3% in week 3. And I am not going to tell you that Mecole Hardman is some stud, amazing wide receiver, a wide receiver 1. He's better than Garrett Wilson. That is crazy. But when you are struggling as bad as you are on offense, you have to do things differently. And why not use someone with that kind of speed? Look at how the Kansas City Chiefs used Hardman in their offense. They had him in the backfield. They had him take jet sweeps. They would get him the ball in space, and so he can make plays. And we haven't seen that at all. The guy's been MIA because Nathaniel Hackett just refuses to use him. And the comparison between Mecole and Randall Cobb is night and day different. Now, I figured they would lean on Randall Cobb more so than Mecole Hardman because of the connection that Aaron Rodgers had with him. Aaron Rodgers' season ends in 4 plays. And even with that, I thought it would be at least relatively close, with a slight edge going to Cobb. Not pretty much all slot reps and all of those kinds of opportunities going to Cobb and 0 going to Mecole Hardman. Here's the number. Cobb had 46 snaps, The percent, 73. 73%. Obviously, Lazard and Wilson are on the field a ton at wide receiver, but there's no reason for Cobb to be the next one by that significant of a margin. 73% of snaps for Randall Cobb versus 3% for Mecole Hardman. Are you kidding me? You can't get those numbers even a little bit closer. I would love for that to just go to flip and be the inverse, but how about like 40% for each instead? Like, if you have to use 76% for those two guys, I wouldn't think it would be 73% Cobb, 3% Mecole Hardman. You'd be at least closer to being somewhat of a split. 43 and 30, something like that, with Mecole a little bit more. I would rather have him getting the reps and opportunity. Cobb was terrible yesterday. He had a bad drop. The Hail Mary play at the end, if he didn't lose his footing, he could have caught it. Maybe that changes everything what we're talking about today, which would be silly. But they just, again, refuse to use Mecole Hardman in this offense. 16 plays through 3 games, 14 which have came in the 4th quarter of a blowout. And then the other is Jeremy Ruckert, who Robert Saleh called out by name during the week, saying that they will get more opportunities for Jeremy Ruckert. He is too good and too useful as a run blocker to not use him. He played 5 snaps in the game against the Dallas Cowboys. And during the week, that was the quote from Robert Saleh, is we're going to get him. It was Jeremy Ruckert and Breece Hall. Those were the 2 names that were mentioned on guys who you could expect to get more reps and be a part of the offense. Guess how many snaps Jeremy Ruckert saw in week 3 against the New England Patriots? Your best blocking tight end saw, drum roll please, 1 snap. 1. It went down from 5. Now, CJ Uzomah, I will give him some credit. while I thought he was absolutely abysmal against the Dallas Cowboys, he was much better as a run blocker in this game against the New England Patriots. Still does not justify that decision to play him significantly more snaps than Jeremy Ruckert, but the personnel usage that the Jets trot out there and that Nathaniel Hackett trots out there is a joke. It doesn't make any sense at all. And people are going to try to spin that as, see, it's not really Zach's fault, it's Nathaniel Hackett's fault. And when in reality, both things can be true at the same time. Nathaniel Hackett has done a really bad job with his personnel, and the play calling's been a little bit on the stale side. But that doesn't take away from Zach Wilson just holding onto the ball forever, not seeing the open guys, not going through progressions, not being able to read a defense, taking sacks in terrible times, checking it down on 4th and 10. Like, Nathaniel Hackett's not out there for that. So let's pump the brakes on just putting all the blame on Nathaniel Hackett. But it is important to call things out that don't make sense. And for me, these two things on offense, they finally changed up the offensive line. They listened to the fans, and this is what they were going to do all along, but it made sense. They had Becton at left tackle, AVT at right tackle. They had Joe Timmon come in and play right guard. And guess what? The offensive line was fine. That was their best game of the season on the offensive line so far through 3 weeks. They weren't perfect, but that was a significant upgrade. And there were... It wasn't the line was not an issue in that game for the New York Jets. On the safety sack, that was on Zach Wilson for not dumping the ball out faster. He had an opportunity. It was Tyler Conklin, and I believe it was Breece Hall, both guys sitting in the flat available for a check down. Did Mekhi Becton get beat on that play? Yeah, he did. He did, but he was better than Dwayne Brown has been so far. AVT was great at right tackle. Joe Tippmann had the one penalty, which some will even say is a questionable penalty that was called against him, but he was solid. He didn't allow a pressure. McGovern was better. Laken Tomlinson was better. The whole unit was better. So throw the offensive line excuse out the window, at least for this week against the New England Patriots, but the usage, the personnel usage, gets on me even more so than the play calling or anything like that. Is it stale at times? Yes, it absolutely is stale at times. Hackett's not a perfect offensive coordinator. That is abundantly clear. But I just am truly, truly, truly stunned that they are refusing to use Mecole Hardman or Jeremy Ruckert. I don't understand it. Especially when, for Rucker in particular, the head coach came out and was like, oh, only 5 plays. You know, this guy's got to get on the field. And he plays 1 snap. He was on the field for 1 snap. Make it make sense. That's what I kept saying to myself when I was going through the snap counts and just redoing, or just rechecking everything with this game and looking at the stats. I don't understand it. That has to change. More Mecole Hardman, less Randall Cobb, more Jeremy Ruckert, less CJ Uzomah, and let's get this thing rolling in the right direction. In addition to making a change at the quarterback position. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Once again, I am Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like. I'll catch you next time.